It's a renegade surprise attack.
I just love demolition.
You'll find it none of your powers work down here, top worlder.
Welcome back to another edition of Tea and Toys. This is very much a Gobots-esque, all-in-one episode. And yes, I know from previous videos that I did slight the Crasher and moan and grumbled that she was not available in the UK. But I managed to get hold of one for not that bad a price. So I thought, well, let's track down the other two Gobots that they've released in this more modern iteration of the characters. As you can see, we've got the Puffer and Road Rager 2-pack to get the Guardian Road Rager, and I've tracked down again really good priced Bugbite, which I was surprised that he was still about 25 quid. I know it's a little bit more money than he would have been when he was initially released, but for that character I thought that it was going to be crazy prices, but he wasn't. Crasher was a little bit more, but that's expected, got from abroad. But not as bad as one is expected. Now she's actually been announced that she will be released in the Takara sets as well, so kind of missed the boat there. But never mind, not the end of the world, these things happen. Not interested in the Puffer, so Puffer's still in the box. So hopefully someone will buy that. But I did really like the fact that all four of those figures, so from Huffer, Pipes, Puffer and Road Rager, all have different heads. Fantastic. Something you can't be said for Bugbite, Hubcap and Cliffjumper. Obviously Bugbite shares the head with Bumblebee, who I did mention just then. And this Crasher is, funnily enough, it's based on the Earthrise mould of Mirage, but using the holographic Mirage head, which I believe was on the Siege Mirage body. So this one's actually a bit of a mishmash of those two toys. And yeah, I know, was not in love with this Crasher when I saw the pictures, but being a massive Gobots fan and coming to the realisation that it is unlikely, unless it's a third party doing naughty versions of toys, we won't get proper Challenge of the Gobots toys because of how the rights sit. Some people will argue back and forth, as I have done myself, online. Those know-all folks that think they know everything, that when they actually know nothing, and the answers have been given. They don't have all 100% rights to the Gobots. Yes, some of the names. Yes, they can slightly change the characters, as they have done here with Road Ranger in particular. He's blue and red, and a flatbed truck. Whereas now, he's taken the Huffer mould to be his now, and Bugbite, his appearance, he should be about the size of Crasher and Turbo in the Gobots, but they've now sort of downsized him to more of a Bumblebee look, an angry looking Bumblebee. Because in the original Gobots cartoon, Bugbite is actually quite a hard little character, it's quite tough. Crasher, obviously one of the mainstays, she's in 99% of the episodes. Funnily enough, Bugbite appears in an episode that Crasher does not, and that's his only appearance in the original cartoon. Whereas look at these guys, Road Ranger is probably the one that is sort of least known, especially compared to these two. People love the whole enemy Bumblebee thing, and Crasher being the original robotic femme fatale. She was the original. Transformers did not have female Transformers in the series. Oh yes, there's that one episode. But when looked at, and then RC came along later, but from the get-go, Gobots had the female characters. Did they look particularly feminine? Most of them didn't, but they were still female representation in those series. Now, I'm not a fan of Gobots being in the Transformers universe. I would much prefer if they're kept separate in their own universe, away from Cybertron. Keep Gobotron away from Cybertron. I know they sort of cover it a little bit in, I think this, it might not be this version of Bugbite. There's like the other stories, like these two came across from Gobotron to sort of seek out to relocate to Cybertron or something like that, because the Gobot universe is dying or being blown up or something rubbish like that. You know, some typical anti-Gobot storytelling from a lot of the Transformers fan base. I get it. Ha 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 ha. It's funny. Naff off. Big Gobots fan. I'm a big Transformers fan. So I was never one of those ones that hated Gobots. Never hated Gobots. Yes, I did much prefer Transformers. But as time has gone on, I picked up a nice, juicy bootleg full set of the episodes before they released the official Gobot episodes. I became a huge fan of Gobots in 2007, 2008. Massively so. I picked up a whole load of the old toys. I have sold a lot of them off now. I think the only one I've still got left is, funnily enough, it's the Machine Robo Cooper, the Mini Cooper, which is really hard to get hold of, but I'm glad I've got one. He's British, so he's got the Union Jack on the top. Great thing. I might do a little video of that. I'll dig him out. I don't put him on display. He's white plastic, and that thing will yellow if he's out in the open. But here we have these Transformers versions of Gobot characters. Let's start with the Guardian, Autobot Ranger. We'll ignore where they say that and when they say Decepticon Crasher. No such character as Decepticon Crasher. Crasher is a renegade through and through. She would never change allegiances from Psykill to Megatron and or Galvatron. Hell no, no way. She's Psykill's girl. So first up, Guardian Road Ranger. Like I said, massively different to his original interpretation of the character. There's another character, but people often say is still Road Ranger, called Truck from the Eagle comics. It comes with all the same accessories as Huffer. Speak of which, let's get Huffer involved. There's Huffer. You can see it shares the mould. I've got Huffer's cab up a little bit higher than Road Ranger here. Both have the same accessories. This is all in silver with some gunmetal highlights, and the guns painted completely as well over Huffer. So Huffer, not Puffer. That's them together, the different heads. Very nice. And then I've got two comparisons for Bugbite here. Cliffjumper, who shares the body with Bugbite, and Bumblebee, who is the V-dub. Now, if you know, as well as I do, Bugbite should also be a VW Beetle. Hence the word bug being the the nickname for a VW Beetle. But there we go. He is unfortunately the Cliffjumper mold. It's just one of those things. Volkswagen, with some of their WW2 German guilt, don't want to have villainous characters using their IP. There we go. What can we say? It was a certain person's favourite people's car, you might say. But there we go. That's how it is now. And Bugbite should also be yellow. And he's only sort of depicted in these, like the white or sort of off-white colours, because of original, really rubbish screen captures from the Gobots series that were on the internet in the early internet days, in my internet days. So that's why he's white now. No other reason. But at the end of the day, I don't mind him being a different car type. It's frustrating. It would be nice if he was the white Beetle or the cream Beetle or an off yellow Beetle, but that's never going to happen. Not until a certain company just pulls their socks up and goes, "Oh, shut up, let's just get on with life." Yeah, shares the same body as Cliffjumper. Now, unfortunately, Bugbite has an extremely loose backpack. Literally, there is no resistance going in the hole. So, literally, it just falls out every single time. So, yes, very frustrating. It falls out constantly. See, it comes with exactly the same accessories as Bumblebee. Cliffjumper gave them their Centurion drone weapons. So get bugged by the big cannon. This is a baddie. And then we have Crasher. Now, I don't have the Earthrise Mirage. I only have the Siege version. I did not update, trade in for an Earthrise, because you have to get an attachment on your Earthrise mold in order to give him the shoulder cannon. Now, if you know Mirage has a shoulder cannon. Why they didn't do that? They gave him exactly the same guns, but they remolded it so you didn't get this section up here. So he does transform slightly different. But by doing so, they took away the shoulder peg, So you'd have to get like a peg that clips in there, goes in there, and another £15 spent on an adapter you didn't need to have. There's not much difference between the car modes. I'm more than happy for a Cybertronian mode for Mirage. Works perfectly fine, mostly in Autobot mode anyway. Robot mode even. So there we are, that's the comparison between them. So yeah, she's a bit of a mishmash between like Mirage's original variant from Siege and his Earthrise version. I'll show you what I mean by the shoulder cannon thing. You can just clip in the gun on the back there, which you can try and say it's a shoulder cannon, but do that. But it just doesn't, it's just very silly. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? So she's got guns. And you know, Gobots, they don't do guns. So they shouldn't really have guns anyway. They fire blasters from their fists. Like that. Goes Crasher. Yeah. I'm kind of glad I got out, but I do want them to try and at least do maybe a cycle using Repgar and or the aerial bike mold. And then do Leader 1 using the Starscream molds. Maybe they could switch it up a little bit, like they have to switch these guys up a little bit. Okay, and they give them a different head and they use another head for her. But they can do things right. They can try. Maybe Coptor from Spinister. That would be quite cool. You'd have to squint to go, okay, yeah. You can see why they did it. Like, for instance, Crasher's alt mode. She comes in, they always had to transform it for the sake of doing robots first and then vehicles. Is not the same Porsche vehicle. Again, same reasons why we don't get Porsches in Transformers is because of the World War II connection. But there we go, we won't keep mentioning that. Poor old Gobots, they're going to get the brunt of it. So that is so all the basic articulation you'd expect from these toys you've got on the original releases, on the original Transformers releases of these. So all the same sort of glitches and errors you might get, and there might be some mold degradation by the time they did these. I don't know. Let's get them in vehicle mode, although we have seen all of this before, but it's Gobots, so we got to do it. And here we have them in their vehicle modes. First up, Road Rager. Not a bad roll test. Most of the wheels go around. I think this one at the back gets caught a little bit, but if you've seen Huffer pipes and or Puffer in another video, that's what you get from that one. You can attach all the usual attachments onto him. Gun placement on top. Bugbite again. If you send the many Bumblebee Cliff Jumper Hubcap videos, you know what to expect from him. So give him a roll test. Yeah, again, not too bad. Well, front wheel there doesn't quite catch on a flat surface. And we've got Crasher, who now, after transforming her and retransforming her, she actually works better on a flat surface. So I was going to give her points down, but that's the first time I tried that since transforming her back. But there she is. She is fine, but I can't get this bit to clip in like it was when it came out of the box. So something to look out for. It doesn't quite do. But what I will be doing with these Gobots, I'm going to get the Gobot insignia Legos for these characters from Toy Hacks and a couple of Visionaries bits as well. So I'll be doing some more videos of those pickups as well. So I'm going to turn them into proper Renegades and Guardians as they should be. I'm not going to get the big sticker sheet for Crasher. Not interested in spending that kind of money. I just want to put the logos on there. But for this one's going to be a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to just stick it on and then slice it in half. But there we are. That is the Gobots video. What a challenge it was. Don't forget to love, like, subscribe, and see you guys and girls in the next one.